Hello, John here. With my animation tutorial videos going quite well, I thought I'd branch out a little bit and start doing some more sort of general animation production videos. So for this kind of first video, I thought I would talk about recording voices for animation and simply show you the kind of kit that I've got and how I use it to record voices. So I presume that most of you are similar to me in the sense that you work either from home or from a very small studio. And I know for definite that kind of keeping production costs as low as possible is vital. So I don't really want to pay out all the big bucks to go and hire a professional studio. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I invested, I think it was about £300 or £400 in my own audio recording kit, which does sound like a lot of money, but when you think about a 3 hour session at a kind of London studio being anywhere from £300 upwards, actually, I've saved money straight away, really. I'm buying my own kit. And I've used my setup now for about 2 years, and I think the recording quality is probably as good as the recordings that I've had at professional studios before. So I've been really pleased with it. So I'll now show you my setup. So I think we'll start with the mic. In the end, I chose the Rode NT1 microphone, which is a condenser microphone. I went for this mic basically because it was one of the best reviewed microphones on the internet for the price range that I was looking to spend. And actually I've been really pleased with it. So in the box you actually get a mic, you get the pop shield, and this rather elaborate looking but an excellent shock mount. So the next thing to mention is the sound booth. I think I didn't want to spend hundreds of pounds sort of soundproofing my room. I think this was about £30. I thought it was worth a try, and actually it works really well. It kind of keeps the sound generally, obviously, from like the computer and stuff from the other side of the microphone away from the mic, and actually does help to really record a nice, clean, crisp sound. So I definitely would recommend some sort of soundproofing or sound booth like this one. I then went for a very heavy-based microphone stand. This one I think was about £15 or £20, something like that. And it's got a really heavy, solid bass, which is what I wanted. So one important thing that I need to mention is the fact that because I have the mic and the sound booth on the same microphone stand, when I extend it to a standing height, unfortunately it becomes so top heavy that it falls over. So I have to have it down here at this kind of sitting level, which, if I'm doing voices, I like to stand up and kind of get into the character and stuff. So it's a bit annoying, like I have to sit down all the time. Because ideally I'd have the mic and the booth sort of separate. But if you do that, then obviously the mic is then too far away from the booth for it to actually have any impact. So then it's pointless having it. But so this is a kind of compromise between the two. But in the future I might try and separate them out so that we can stand up and record. So the mic has a XLR connector. So I purchased a 4-meter XLR cable to try and get the mic as far away from my computer as possible. And that connects into my next piece of kit, which is my Focusrite amp. So this is a really nifty piece of kit. First of all, it's really small, so it can sit underneath my computer and I can control it while at the desk. It also has 2 XLR inputs, both of which you can have phantom powered microphones connected at the same time. And it also has a direct monitor as well, so you can listen to what's coming into the box from the mic directly, even though I don't really use that, but it can be quite a handy feature sometimes if you need it. This then plugs via USB into my computer. And then for recording audio itself, I use a piece of software called Audacity, which is free. You can download it for free for Mac and PC, and is an excellent piece of kit. It's not perfect. There are a few things that I find quite annoying, but on the whole, it does a really simple job, and you can export it as a WAV or an AIF or whatever you would like to, MP3. So it's really handy piece of kit, particularly for free. So that's it. That is my little setup. But I'm actually really pleased that I invested the money into it. So overall, I've saved myself a lot of money, and the quality of the recording is really good. So just finally, I thought I'd give you a few quick tips on making the best recordings for your animation. So number one is obviously pick somewhere as quiet as possible to do your recording. Make sure all your windows are shut, your doors are shut. If you have any lights on that maybe buzz a little bit, turn those off. Get your mic as far away from the computer as possible. And when you're set up, just literally sit in the chair next to the mic and kind of just listen for a minute in silence. And if you can hear anything, then try and get rid of that sound as much as you can. Number two is to always do a dead recording. And by that I mean kind of record nothing for a while and just see what interference is coming through on your recording. Sometimes the cable needs to be straightened out, or if you've got a curl in your cable or it's touching a bit of metal, these things can add a kind of buzz or a hum on your recordings. Always do a recording of silence and just see what is coming through on that recording, and then try and eliminate any sort of noise on your recording. So tip number 3 is basically I always record 3 takes of each line. That way you obviously have variety in your takes, but also if you do make a little bump on the microphone or a little rustle of your paper and you haven't realised, you've got another alternative to use. The worst thing is, particularly if you're using actors, is that you record something and it all sounds good, they go away, and then as you start to edit the sound, you realise that one or two of the lines aren't very good, and you really don't want to get them back and to pay them more money. So tip number 4 is to always think outside of your script or outside of your video, because quite a lot of the times things like if a character's running and they're kind of huffing and puffing as they're running, or they're tutting or something like that, that's not going to be on your script, and without that the characters can feel kind of slightly unrealistic. So always make sure that you go through your script or your storyboard or your animatic and pick out all those little extra noises that you need from your characters, and make sure you record those as well. And try and record lots of other noises, just general noises, so that if you need something extra, you've got it there rather than having to get your actors back or make it up yourself. Also, if you are a YouTuber, make sure that you kind of think about the credits as well. Could you add a little bit of script for the credits, asking your viewers, like you guys, to kind of click on different buttons, that sort of thing. So don't just think about the actual video itself, think about trailers and the credits and that kind of stuff, and try and plan for that as well. Okay, well thanks for watching. I hope this video has been enjoyable and interesting. And if you have any comments about my audio setup, I'd love to hear them, so please leave a comment. And of course, do let me know what kit you use if it's different from mine. I'd love to hear how you record your audio, maybe so I can improve my setup here as well. And of course, please do subscribe to my channel by clicking on the big red button. And if you want to watch one of my previous tutorial videos, please click on that button at the top there. And I'll be back very shortly with another video. Alright, so bye for now.